Hi, good morning, ladies. Um, so unfortunately, I'm not able to be live today because I went ahead and volunteered for the food bank in Linwood, along with your colleague Maria. So we're there in a few hours. Okay. So good morning. Today's meeting will be hopefully 15 to 20 minutes. So let's go over our agenda for today. Before I read the agenda, I want to go over the quote. It says, I wasn't born to just teach. I was born to inspire others, to change people, and to never give up even when faced with challenges that seem impossible. So now let's go over history of Head Start, which is a video. So I think it's 5 minutes long. I'm going to go ahead and play it. Oops, make it big first. So I'll expand it.
Here and now declares unconditional war on poverty in America.
In his State of the Union address on January 8, 1964, President Lyndon B. Johnson urged Congress and the citizens of the United States to do everything necessary to end poverty in our country. With Sergeant Shriver at the helm, the war on poverty took shape as a comprehensive effort to address the needs of the nation's poor, nearly half of whom were children. Enacted by the 88th Congress, the Economic Opportunity Act created a preschool program that would change the way we educate our children. It would give them a head start and work to eliminate the cycle of poverty in our country. On May 18, 1965, President Johnson announced the creation of Project Head Start in a White House Rose Garden ceremony. He spoke about the importance of investing in children. Head Start launched that summer as an 8-week program serving more than 500,000 children nationwide. The following year, after a remarkable first summer, Congress authorized Head Start as a year-round program. In the mid-1970s, Head Start had served more than 5.3 million children in every corner of our nation. The first Head Start program performance standards were created in 1975. They outlined guidelines and expectations for all Head Start programs. By 1984, the Head Start budget exceeded the $1 billion mark, and the program had served 9.1 million children in its nearly 20-year history.
Few things could be more central to the life and health of our nation than the education of our children.
In the early 1990s, President George H.W. Bush proposed a 27% increase in Head Start spending to expand access to preschool for low-income families. Then, in 1994, the Head Start Reauthorization Act created new opportunities for Head Start to lead early care and education. The act helped Head Start keep true to communities, parents, and children by building on the vision and recommendations contained in a report issued by the Advisory Committee on Head Start Quality and Expansion. 1994 also saw the creation of the Early Head Start program to address the comprehensive needs of pregnant women and low-income children under age 3. The Head Start Reauthorization Act of 1998 allowed for full-day, full-year services, set education standards for teachers, and focused renewed attention on school readiness and literacy.
Our budget increases the funding for Head Start while giving it a clear mission.
In 2007, Congress passed the Improving Head Start for School Readiness Act. This act preserved Head Start as a federal to local program, strengthened state roles, and enhanced standards for education, workforce, and accountability. By 2010, with the help of federal, state, and local partners, Head Start had invested in more than 27 million children since its inception in 1965. But the path hasn't always been easy. The 112th Congress threatened to cut funding to Head Start, but the $1.1 billion budget decrease was rejected by the Senate. By April 2011, a budget was passed that enabled all current Head Start families to remain in Head Start programs. As the turbulence in Congress continued, the 2013 sequestration caused more than 57,000 children to lose their seats in Head Start classrooms. The $427 million budget cut had a massive impact on Head Start's ability to serve the most vulnerable children in our country. On January 13, 2014, Head Start programs breathed a sigh of relief when Congress passed a spending bill to fully restore funding. Later that year, Head Start received a $1 billion increase in funding, including a new investment in early Head Start childcare partnerships. The Obama administration then convened the best minds in education, both in the private and public sectors, at the White House Summit on Early Education.
Early education is one of the best investments we can make, not just in a child's future, but in our country.
Their mission was to recommit the country to providing quality early education for all our citizens. As Head Start turns 50 years old, we set out with renewed spirit, recharged conviction, and the reclaimed imperative to continue the war against poverty by inspiring all of our young people to learn and achieve. With 32 million alumni and 50 years of opportunity, we're all part of one historic change.
What a wonderful video. As you guys see, it's important what we do, and we will continue to do and influence all these children in the classroom. So let's move on. We let's go over the agenda. So we actually watched the history of Head Start. After that, we're gonna go over the IDP. I have been monitoring a few IDP forms, and there's a few items that need to be added. Something simple. After the IDP, we're gonna go over the schedule at a glance after spring break. We're gonna discuss recruiting. We're gonna talk about Paycom, and if you guys have any questions, you're welcome to email me or send me a text. I will respond after 12:30. Okay, so let's start. So let's go over the IDPs. So after this video, I'm gonna send you both the Spanish and the English one, just so you can have it on your computer. So this is what they look like. So the IDP, it looks like whoever trained the teachers did an amazing job. However, they forgot to add 3 important things that will help the monitoring for the center manager as well as LACO understand where you got that information from. So let's go over. First of all, you need your phone. So you need the eLoft. I have it in English and Spanish. So you need the app either on your tablet or on your phone. Okay, so I want you to grab your phone and click on the eLoft. In this case, we're gonna do the English. So let's go over the English. So once you log in, I'll give you a minute. Okay, perfect. I was waiting for that 1 minute. Okay, so once you go on your app, in this case, this is a scenario, the child's 16 to 36 months. So click 16 to 36 months. You'll see the developments. We're looking for language and communication. So go ahead and scroll or swipe to the, to the green, the greenish. This one right here. And on the very top, it says language and communication. So we're gonna go over domain emergent literacy. So click on emergent literacy. Once you click on emergent literacy, there are 1, 2, 3, there's 5 different definitions. In this case, this child needs to work on comprehending meaning from pictures and stories. So let's click on that where it says comprehend meanings from pictures and stories. So on there, there's an actual parentheses and a name and a number. So ITLC 12. Can you see that? Okay. So ITLC 12 is what needs to be put on here. And I'll show you an example on the next slide. So I want you to keep in mind that for every goal, because we have 3 goals, for every goal, we need to write the number. So and it's obviously located in the ELOF. So in this case, it's ITLC 12. So I will put that here. And next to it, I will write the definition, which in this case says it comprehends meaning from pictures and stories. And then I'll have it right here. For the following goal, you have to do the same thing. And then the third goal, you have to do the same thing. So that's the only thing that we're missing. Just because I was monitoring and I had to literally like go back in the ELOF and see, okay, how old is this child? So it saves time. And if LACO comes, they'll be able to like, oh, okay, so this is where the teacher found it. So it makes it a lot easier for LACO to understand, as well as the center managers to be able to connect that we're actually following the framework. Okay, so we cover the red part. So now let's move on to the blue part down here. So the blue part, it's right here. And this is where we actually individualize for the child. And what I want you to put is, if it's in English, throughout the day. If it's in Spanish, durante el día. And I will go over on the next slide. I just want to kind of quickly just give you a synopsis about what exactly is expected. Now for the purple side, this is, I want to actually know the name of the document you use to create those activities. So let's move on to the actual example. So here's the example. So of course, name, birthday, the day that the child started the program, St. Anne's, excuse me. Okay, EHS, Lugo, and then the classroom number. Does the child have any IEP or IFSPs in this case? Yes or no. The date, not applicable in this case. What type of disability, not applicable. So make sure you don't leave anything blank. After that, the parent's name, eventually the parent will sign the date you discuss this IDP with the parent, as well as your name and the date. And then, as I mentioned before, the red part. So I want you to write the ELOF number and the definition for each goal. As you see here, it's ITPM 6, and the definition is coordinates movements. Here it's ITLC 5, increasingly complex language. And down here is ITSE 11, characteristics of self and others. Then the blue part, so let's go over what I showed you right here. We want to have throughout the day or durante el día. So let's go over here. So it's already on here. It says throughout the day, parent will offer a variety of toys and materials that require fine motor skills. Next one. Throughout the day, child will be introduced to new vocabulary words in response to child's interest. Third goal. Throughout the day, parent will allow child to express what makes them unique. So make sure you add your ELOF number and definition for each goal, add throughout the day or durante el día for each individualization comment or definition in this case. And then from there, I want you to also write on here, as you see here, it says parent as teachers. This is a home-based IDP. That's the document I use to create the activities. Well, that's the document I use to create the activities. I know we're using learning games, teaching, the teaching guide. We're using ASQ's interventions, for example. So make sure you add it on here. So if it's a learning game, put learning game and actually put the number of the actual, well, no, that's fine. Just put learning game. But on here, if it's easier for you, you could put the name of the learning game and then put the number for each, if it's easier for you. So you don't have to go back and forth. And that's pretty much it. I mean, hopefully, if you have any questions, we can discuss in our check-in. And I'll be glad to answer any questions. So let's go on to our schedule, or calendar in this case. So our calendar for this entire, I guess, 2 weeks. Today, you guys are attending the staff meeting. Make sure you finish your paperwork. If you haven't completed the lesson plan, please complete one lesson plan and forward it to me. Tomorrow is a paid holiday. Sorry, I went over ahead of the game. Remember, if all your work is complete, then you can leave at 12. I mean, you don't have to clock out. I'll clock you out at 4:30. But you need to make sure all your work is done. Okay. So Friday, tomorrow, it's a paid holiday. And then from there, Monday through Thursday, we're going to have spring break. So we're returning back on Friday, the 9th, and we're going to have a professional development. Hopefully by the 8th, I'll send you an email with the Zoom that they have provided. When we return on Monday, the 12th, we're going to go over DRDP early Head Start. So we're going to look now into the early Head Start. We've been working on Head Start. So let's go on to what we really will be doing when we actually have our classrooms. So we're going to go over EHS DRDP overview. It's a lot easier, a lot less measures. And then we're going to go over the EHS lesson plans that you have created. And then that's for Monday. For Tuesday, we're going to do, hopefully I have recordings by Tuesday. We're going to do EHS DVL monitor. In the morning, we're going to do EHS DVLs. For PM, we're going to return to Victoria's schedule. So we're going to follow her schedule. For Wednesday morning, we're going to do the same thing, EHS DVLs. For PM, Victoria's schedule. Thursday the 15th, we're going to do a staff meeting for 30 minutes. I'm going to check in with 2 staff. And then in the PM, you're going to follow Victoria's schedule. And then, and then for Friday, the 16th, I'm going to check in with 3 staff, and then we're going to discuss we're going to discuss a schedule for that day. So I'll have a better idea by Monday, the 12th. Of what we're going to do that Friday. Okay, so based on the question I have, recruiting, remember we're going to start the week of the 20th. So Wednesday, remember we're going to do only 3 teachers one week. So 3 teachers either Wednesday or 3 teachers of Thursday. So we're going to have the support from Abbott. We're going to switch. So Wednesdays, us, Thursdays, them. And then I'll try my best to be there. I do want to obviously learn the process as well. So this is who I have for Wednesdays, and this is who I have for Thursdays. So if someone's flexible, I mean, it'll be nice if we could have 3 and 3. But in the meantime, that's good enough. So let's go over Paycom. So yesterday I was going through Paycom. I get it. Sometimes we need extra alarms. We need to schedule our alarms. So this is a technique I actually use, I used to use when I used to be working, and I had to clock in and out. I know sometimes I was like, oh man, a minute late, 2 minutes late, but we really, really need to set up an alarm. We need to have, I want to make sure that I'm proud of my staff. I want to show Jenny, hey, we all got it perfect. Like we're all doing our best to improve our timing. So I know I've seen a few I've seen a few schedules that are really good, but there's some that need a lot of comments. So here it is. So it says, please set up your alarm 1 minute or 2 minutes prior to clocking in for the day, for lunch, to go on break for lunch, and to come back from break, to come back from lunch, and then for the end of the day. So putting a minute, putting 2 minutes, if you know that your computer is, giving you a hard time, then do 2 minutes. I mean, that's the best way, the best advice I can give you. And it has worked for me tremendously. The other one is make sure you add comments for the beginning of the day. So remember, beginning of the day, and please try your best not to clock in before 8. I've seen a few before 8, and we're not working before 8, we're working at 8. Lunch break, so remember, the beginning of the day, if you forgot to clock in at 8, then please add a comment on there. For lunch break, if your lunch break is under 30 minutes, then you definitely need to add a comment. It's crucial. Everyone by law must take a 30-minute break. So please make sure you take a 30-minute break. Here are some examples of what I have seen. I've seen someone clock out at 12:29 and coming back at their normal routine, which is 1 p.m. In this case, this individual actually took a 31-minute lunch break, which obviously this is better than less, but at the same time, we want to make sure you take 30 minutes so you can get your actual 8 hours. Now for this individual forgot to clock out at 12. So the routine is 12 to 12:30 for this individual. So because she clocked out at 12:04, she returned back at 12:30 like her usual time. In this case, I would have preferred, if you're 4 minutes late at 12, go ahead and take 4 minutes after. So take 30 minutes, add 30 minutes to your 12:04, which will be 12:34. So don't follow your usual. I mean, it would be nice if you continue to 12 to 12:30, so it's easier for you and it's easier for your alarms. But if by any chance you went over the routine schedule that you usually do, well, guess what? Add 30 minutes to that, because that's the time you need to clock back in. All right, so I think that covers everything for today. That's it. So just a quick reminder, we watched the video, we reviewed the IDP, we discussed the schedule at a glance after spring break. We decided Wednesdays and Thursdays who will be joining. Paycom. And if you have any questions, please go ahead and send me an email. If it's something urgent, please send me a text. And that concludes our meeting today. Well, thank you very much. Remember, don't hesitate to, if you have any questions, any concerns, you really need a check-in, please let me know so I can make it a priority. Thank you. Have a nice day and enjoy your spring break. Goodbye, ladies.